Hello everyone, and I have an awesome person with me right now. He's Nitesh, and he has a lot of experience. Like we will be posting his LinkedIn profile in the description of this video. I just want to mention one thing. When I confirmed from him, like, hey, are you available? He did mention that he has a hectic schedule, but what he said that yes, he is available. So we have to appreciate that after all his professional work, he's going to spend around 30 minutes with us just to make sure that people like you can get the answers to the questions which they are looking for. And first thing I want to mention that he has cleared the solution architect certification from AWS, which is not an easy certification to clear. And obviously Nitesh knows a lot better than me. So I'll be getting started. So Nitesh, first of all, obviously tell our viewers about you and what you do.
Yeah, so hello everyone. My name is Nitesh Yadav, and I'm currently residing from Gujarat. And yeah, I did my schooling and all the colleges from Maharashtra in Nasik. Graduated from KKO College of Engineering in Nasik, is under IT branch. And then I had a on-campus recruitment, and I got selected in Jan 2020 in MDocs, one of the MNCs latest. So yeah, so like working over the journey, and then I started my professional life in September 2020 in MDocs. So currently, like what I do in MDocs is like we have some projects like where we used to automate the operational tasks, whatever the support application guy do, they support some applications or operations, whatever they do, we just automate that things like in the form of zero touch automation, or not exactly the zero touch, but we just make the things easier for operational guy. Like he will just sit back or kind of monitoring, and we just automate the things where we use the languages like Python, Unix and MySQL, and tools like Git, Jenkins, and this like Grafana, Jira, and all the things that we are using in an agile method. So like we just, as in being a fresher and in MDocs, we got this opportunity and as a great exploring things.
Okay, sounds awesome. Sounds awesome. Now I want to understand, like Nitesh, like you were already in AmDocs, and you had the job, especially at the time where people were losing jobs and different stuff. So obviously a lot of people said, like even I was connected to a lot of people, I'm satisfied with where I'm right now. I don't want to worry about anything. I don't want to experiment a lot of things. And there you have started preparing for the certifications, and you have the certifications under your belt. So I want to understand, what was the inspiration of getting a certification? Like someone was forcing you from the company, no, Nitesh, you have to get the certification.
So like whenever first of all thing is like cloud is like, I know like cloud is in future, the two things like automations and the clouds, this all machine learning and all, but I have a keen interest in clouds, to exploring the clouds. And technically, like whenever I visited LinkedIn, and most of the things are getting to set, like I need to like I see like most of the thing people are getting certified in AWS, like professional, associate, some kind of Azure. And here is the like, as I'm doing in the automations kind of things, but what will be a unique thing like which
Nitesh, I
think I can do, which will, yeah.
I think there is an internet issue from your end, I believe. Can you check?
Okay. Now is it okay?
Yeah, it sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, so you were mentioning that you were in MDocs and you saw a lot of people doing certification.
Not in the MDocs doing people's, like I was just surfing the like whatever the social media like LinkedIn and all. So a lot of the people are getting certified in AWS, Azure, Oracle, GCP. So like as I mentioned, like being stand out in the crowd, like be a unique guy. Like everyone is doing like some of the same work in the team, right? But to be an outstander performer, like some kind of you can be outstander by doing something different from what you are doing daily. And so I chose, and also the MDocs is like literally migrating all the services and all things to cloud nowadays. And the future is like AWS only, and also the Azure. So what are the things is like I choose to be kind of unique in the guy, to be outstander in the team, and also to have some most demanding technology skills in our upcoming things. And also I mean I have a keen interest in cloud. That's why that is the main reason.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, I understand a lot of things, and especially one of the most important thing he has mentioned, the cloud is future. Obviously, he is not a fortune teller, but since he is part of the industry, he understands
Yeah.
that how companies are moving and what are the requirement of the customers. Because obviously, if customer is not happy, obviously they will run away. So I want to understand from you one thing is like if I talk about the industry, we like a lot of people have this sort of a stagnate kind of a thinking like, okay, Nitesh, you got the certification. Now don't worry for next 5 years. You will survive in the industry. Like, is this kind of a thing you have? Okay, you have something else.
No. Like this is not the thing. Like I usually I supposed to be an uncomfort zone.
Okay.
So where I'm working is like it's kind of like like we were on the base level. We started a project at the base level. So many things
Okay.
got up. So now more of the things like the freshers are joined and we're just guiding them and also doing some automations. But yeah, so being I mean learning this kind of things to be an uncomfort zone, I like to choose these cloud journeys and also some other kind of where I used to explore Dockers and Kubernetes. And
Okay.
yeah, so AWS is like once you start the learning and you will enjoy this the fun of
Okay.
learning. Like once we started, and also the basics hands-ons of these AWS, you will just only the thing is once we need to start, nothing else.
Okay. Now, the next question is obviously like you have got the certification and you're quite passionate and you have seen cloud is moving forward. I'm scared. Is it very easy to get the cloud, or like I have to like maybe work 12 hours a day and learn 3 hours a night and then I have to get the certification? Like, how is that?
So basically, cloud has its level. So first
Okay.
level is the foundation, the beginner level. That's not much difficult. Then it comes to an associate level, which has 3 certification, and then the professional level. So
Okay.
so recommendation is whoever will be starting his journey in AWS. So like first of all, he should clear the beginner level, the cloud practitioner exam. So it is not much difficult. You just need a 6 months of experience, but for the certification, you can just have like 1 to 2 months for the theories, and just you can solve the practice sets and other things in 2 weeks, and you can just attempt an exam. So it's not much difficult for the foundational level, but yeah, moving ahead, like the associate level, there are 3 types of certifications. First is the solution architect associate, then the developer associate, and then the sysops. Sysops is like for the operation guy. Yeah, so
Okay.
here the technically there in the uh, more depth services we need to focus on. Like in the solution, we just more in the disaster recovery backups and VPCs kind of stuffs. So like it's not much hard, but if you are consistent or you are like on the demand of your targets, so you will achieve the goal. It's not much hard. Like nothing is I mean much harder than you think if you are consistent.
Okay, so here is Nitesh is saying that it is not going to be hard for you, but Nitesh, I'm not happy because I'm a working professional and
Yeah.
I hardly get time for myself. I have my family responsibilities. My manager is saying that deadline is approaching. Now you are saying that I should get the certification because it is future. So how is it possible? Like, what was your approach? Because you have the professional experience and you were working in a company, and after that you have got the certification. So how did you manage your time and what was your approach towards it and how you got the certification for yourself?
So here is like yeah, in the team managers already said like everyone has to be cleared the AWS certifications. But yeah, so like I am the only guy who cleared 2 certifications in less time. And yeah, and many of the guys are telling me like how you get time to do this all stuffs like come on me, I can go. I was like, yeah, okay, like for the shifters, I'm okay, but rest of the time, like on the weekends, I spare more times, like in the day shift, like okay, 9 hours is for the job, and yeah, so in the after that, I can just give a 2 hours in a day, and on the weekend, I
Okay.
spare more times for it, like around 4 hours for these theories and all. And once it is done, I just keep on another consistency, and like later on, like the thing is like we if we want to do it, then the time will be always available for us if we have the
Okay.
suppose to do it. Yeah.
So I want to understand from you, like when you started your journey of cloud, so what was
Mhm.
your approach? Like how many hours you did for the cloud practitioner and how many hours did you give for the solution architect and what was your timeline for that?
So I think on the laid back, I started my journey in the cloud for the cloud practitioner in July.
Okay.
And in the
July 21.
Yeah, July 21. So July, August, I did the theory and all the using the Udemy courses, Stephen Merrick, and then I in July, August end and the September first week, I did the practice sets and I scheduled the exam. So I think hardly 2 months is enough, if more enough, like for the clearing the cloud section. But the main thing is like I will be honest, like I was also not consistent in this thing because there are like many professional things we need to do. There is some deadlines. Like there is an iteration agile method we follow here. So as of like the iteration end, like on the second week of the iterations, we have the deadlines and to look out these things and the cloud. So we there is a lack of consistency here also. But yeah,
Okay.
like as I said, like if it will take some time, but we need to be more consistent on this topic side. So
Okay.
it
So
will
you
be
have
not,
to be
yeah.
you have to be consistent. Obviously, this is a very valid point because if you're not consistent, it's going to be impossible. Now, I'm a beginner right now, Nitesh. Like
Yeah.
maybe I have 2 years of experience in the industry. I have 3 years of experience in the industry, and obviously I have other professional experiences and different stuff. Now, I want to get started with cloud because now that sounds very exciting. You have mentioned cloud is future. How many hours do you think as a beginner I should be focusing on? Because I want to make sure that I'm also not missing the deadline. I'm making sure that my career growth is towards the right trajectory, even though this is something add on, but I don't want to destroy what I'm doing right, where I'm right now. And how can I make it better by starting the learning cloud? So how many hours in a day I should be spending as a beginner?
As a beginner, you can just spare 2 hours a day, like
Okay.
like taking out of like job work hours and your 2 hours like for the self study. You can just give it a 2 hours a day, and weekly you can give 4 hours on depend on the your stamina. Like you can
Okay.
continuously sit like 4 hours or 5 hours. You have a break. So not all weekends, but in the few weekends you have willpower to do this. Like currently, you can just give as a beginner. You have a 2 hours a day and 4 hours a weekdays, Saturday, Sunday. It will
Okay,
be,
so that means if I'm going for the certification, I don't have to miss the call of my girlfriend. I can meet her, I can still get the certification, and I can still grow my career. Anyways, now next question is obviously you have the certification. So how was the journey of the certification? Like once you got the certification, your boss was like, yes, Nitesh, great. Now we are going to promote you, or like they asked the practical things, or like they judged your knowledge, and after that they said, okay, yes, you are actually certified and you have the required skill set. How was it?
so basically once I got the certification, so there was like team appreciation was there, and many of the leads and managers like they said ki, yeah, this is the kind of thing which we follow in the industry, like this is the trends you are doing now, and yeah. And but basic of the requirement, as in the team we are not not corely working on the AWS services, we are in the automation side. But yeah, whenever there are any futures requirement for the AWS, whenever there are AWS projects, so managers directly said us like, yeah, whenever there will be a requirement, so the preferable guy will be the most of certification, so he will be a
Okay.
things. And yeah, so and also the real-time life problems I managed to, like I just build a CI/CD using AWS things and all the services. And a part of the managers and leads, usually I need to guide our teammates and the leads for clearing the certifications.
Okay. Now, one thing I want to understand is like obviously a lot of people have this kind of a thing. I've met some people that they say that yes, I'm done with the certification. Now, should I go for the practical knowledge as well? Should I keep on updating myself, or like that is it? Certification is done. Now I should stop and I should focus on my personal life.
No, we shouldn't stop this. Like, so at the basic of certification, once we are doing the courses, there we have the hands-on lectures also. So
Okay.
not only we are just learning the theory, we are having a practical experience for us. And like if we do like just okay, certification ho gaya, now it's okay, like we will be set up. It's not like that. To
Okay.
be, yeah, so to be a continuously learner, you just need to upskill your learning experience. So if one level is completed, like just I completed the certification at the foundation level, so I just need to upskill my level as associate, and then I will just, so currently I create the solution architect, so it's not the end for me. I will be learning now developer associate. So to be the consistent learner and the services which will be always like the understand and practical hands-on all things, I need to be a consistent. So it's not like we should stop once we are completed the certification, because the opportunity can and any opportunity can and like anytime knock us a doors. So it's not like a certification is done then we can stop or we are settled. So yeah, so be a practical learner also. We need to have a continuous learner.
Now, I want to add on to his points that obviously he has the industry experience. He is coming from this particular experience, but I want to mention a few things that what happens, like the industry is moving so fast that if you pause for a 6 months, like let's say if you sleep for next 6 months, you will feel like your skills are irrelevant. So I feel that he would agree to that, because if I talk about in terms of AWS or Microsoft Azure, this has happened with me also. I had a pause for 6 months and I realized that I have to relearn a lot of things because a lot of things were changed. So this is something which I would say that he is very kind and humble, that he's mentioning that even though he has the certification under his belt, he's not going to have a very worry-free life, because obviously he has to make sure that he's learning new things. And as opportunity may knock his door tomorrow, he's ready for that. Now, Nitesh, I want to understand, when you say that you got the certification, it sounds very easy, like you're Sachin Tendulkar and you know that, okay, this is how you're going to play that. But I want to understand, I'm a beginner right now. I have no idea of cloud computing. I'm part of a team and I'm quite scared right now. So how should I approach towards that? How should I start learning that? And what are the best possible things I should be doing right now, so that maybe 1 year down the line or maybe 1.5 year down the line, I have the certification and I'm actually giving my career a boost.
So here, I mean, is the requirement for to use the platforms for learning? Yeah, like you need
No,
to
like
know
again,
what types of
like maybe resources also, a lot of resources are available, and what are the best approach for me?
So yeah, so best approach is like we don't need to go to the classes and learn the AWS. We have some online resources over here, like on the Udemy. We have the best courses like from Stephen Merrick. So like his videos is well structured for the AWS and the practice sets also, and for the BizLab platform is also for the practice sets. So for the CCP, what I choose to be the resources is like Udemy, the Stephen Merrick, and the practice sets of the Stephen Merrick and the Neil Lewis. So the combination of this stuff was enough for me to clear the CCP exam. And one thing also I need to mention here, like don't study for certifications, study for exploring your skills. Yeah, basically the solution architect, I was just not learning for the certifications. It was like I learned from Udemy, as well as I explored the services from YouTube as well in the deep dive. Because yeah, so like in the future, someone if asks me like what are the services, this role of these services and what is the thing. But yeah, like in the interview perspective, this is the deep dive services you should learn, not for just the certification. So it will take some time to go into this flow. But yeah, usually the Udemy platform provide you such very best lectures videos, and the BizLab and the practice sets of the Udemy like Stephen Merrick or Tutorials Dojo. You will just refer to it as courses and practice sets. You will just be certified like me.
Okay, fine. Now, obviously, you mentioned that various services, and I feel obviously these are the paid services. Apart from YouTube, do we have any free service? Free, because right now I don't want to spend my money, because obviously if I'll go there, obviously like Udemy is not very costly, but yes, like I'm not feeling like I should be investing my money. So, are there any free resources available?
Free resources, I just not looked at that, but on the YouTube you can refer one channel. It was like I don't remember, but basically Udemy is not much expensive. You will obviously if you want the structured videos in the sequence, you can refer the Udemy lectures, and the practice sets also much referable. And for the dumps, you can just refer examtopics.com or some others links. This is the terms we can solve before going to your practice sets.
Okay.
And
now I have this question. You are very patient guy. You prepared for it, then you did the practical knowledge, and you're saying that I did for the learning, not for the certification. I don't have this kind of patience. So tell me the shortcuts so that it's not going to waste my time. And I'm within 6 months, I have 2 or 3 certification under my belt. So is there any shortcut for that?
Uh, Shortcuts. I mean, yeah, I mean, let's say you just, but basically there is no shortcut. You can directly, I can say, but for like 3 to 6 months, you need 2 or 3 certification. I mean, you just need to give more time to yourself, like for
Okay.
studying this. It's nothing like a shortcut. I
Okay.
mean, what I can say, like you need to complete the all the services from the Udemy or where the platforms. And in spite of completing this only, then and then you can schedule your exams and all things.
Now,
So I
I
think.
want to mention one thing. Like again, sorry for cutting you off. Why
Mhm,
there are no
mhm.
shortcuts available? Because the industry is ever evolving. Okay, so basically, what happened in the college days? I'll give a very simple example. They say that we are going to ask questions from chapter 2, and we are going to ask questions from chapter 4. This is not how the industry works, or this is not how company works. Like the customer is not going to say, okay, you don't know what is new version of EC2. That is fine. I'm going to be with that. No, this is not how the approach is. So that is why obviously he has mentioned, and I would say there is no shortcut. You have to spend your time. You have to invest your time, I would say, at minimum to gain the certification and especially the learning. And he has also mentioned certifications are not the holy grail. If you have the certification, people are not going to come and say, okay, let's now explore more opportunities. Okay. Now, Nitesh, it is awesome connecting with you. I want to understand from one last question I have for you. What is
Uh-huh.
one mistake as a beginner I should avoid, which you have made, because of which you feel like you would have got more far compared to where you are right now? One mistake which one should avoid.
Never avoid the hands-on lectures.
Okay.
Never
Okay.
avoid, like, because doing on hands-on on the services, you just play with the services. You just not learn. You just play with the services, and where which options is there, and what is the meaning of that. It's all visible in the GUI
Okay.
interface. So yeah,
Okay.
so never avoid the hands-on lectures and hands-on types of the services. And second thing, be consistent, like, because
Okay.
be honest, I was not consistent, because but yeah, literally I able to be consistent, but due to some scenarios where needed some deadlines or something, like as a professional life, many of the time you were not supposed to consistent. But yeah, this should be
Okay.
avoided. Yeah.
Okay, fine, fine. Now, Nitesh, one last thing I want to understand, like obviously AWS is a paid service, like you
Mhm,
have to pay
mhm.
for that. Now, if I want to get on the hands-on, does AWS have any special kind of a package where I can get the hands-on of it and I don't have to spend a lot of money?
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
on the basics, we get a one year free tier for the AWS and free tier services also. We can play with
Okay.
EC2 instances. We can play with the databases. So it's just one year free tier we get, and with some with the capacity of this. Like we
Okay.
can, for the month we get 30 GB instances limits. So these are all things we for the hands-on purpose we are getting the free tier. There is no charge. But and in case if you are billed by the AWS, so you
Okay.
can just mail them like, I am
Okay.
a learner, I am a beginner, so I was
Okay.
not aware about the charges, what it will be the service. So they will redeem your charges. They will not charge like if you are a beginner or a learner. So there is not
Okay.
nothing like you will be billed. Yeah.
Okay, so we will mention this particular link of this free resources where you can go
Yeah, yeah.
ahead, and obviously, I feel that we need a credit card or maybe a debit card for that.
Yes, we
I'm
need a
not able
credit
to.
card. We need a
Okay, okay,
credit card.
okay. We need a credit card. So obviously, you just have to plug in your credit card. Don't worry, AWS is not going to charge you anything right
Yeah,
now.
they are not charging recurring also. Firstly, at the I think 1 year back they were charging recurring, but now there will be no charge. They will send you a
Okay,
bill and they will ask for the payment. Even I was
okay,
charged, but I was charged was like 100 to 200 rupees only. It was not
okay,
much, like, yeah. So it's all fully free for you for
okay.
hands-on and for learning expenses. Nothing better, like you are a bill, you will be paid. Yeah.
Okay. So awesome, Nitesh. It was great having you. I learned a lot of things, and obviously, our viewers have learned a lot of things. One last thing, I want to get connected with you. I want to be in touch with you. I have few questions. I'm a bit worried. How can I get help from you? How can I connect with you?
Yeah, you can just provide my LinkedIn profile in the below description. Like I will be
Okay.
available. I'm like daily. I will using the LinkedIn's and all the notifications. And all. So a guy,
Okay.
anyone can connect me over there. Yeah, I will be openly free for that.
Okay. So if you want to connect to Nitesh and if you want to get few suggestions or maybe ideas from him, I'll be putting the LinkedIn, his URL of LinkedIn on the description of this video, and you can get connected. So thank you very much, Nitesh. Thank you for spending 30 minutes with us. I understand you have a huge busy schedule, but still you have spent 30 minutes with us. So thank you very much. And guys, I will see you in the next one.
Yeah, thanks for the session. Thank you.